What if I told you that 90% of all people are literally breathing in a way that keeps their brain stuck in the stress mode? I know it might sound crazy, but neuroscience confirms it. Most of us breathe in shallow, quick patterns that signal danger to our brain, keeping our amygdala, that's the fear center, constantly activated. But there's a simple fix. A simple pattern of breathing, when done correctly, can flip your nervous system from fight or flight to rest or digest mode in seconds. More importantly, when practiced regularly, it physically rewires your brain. MRI studies show increased gray matter in regions for emotional regulation and decreased volumes in areas responsible for stress. So, are you ready to learn about a breathing hack that's changing thousands of lives? Great. I'm Will Deek, a professor and passionate martial arts practitioner. Let's explore a breathing technique I've taught hundreds of my students and how your breathing is actually affecting what's happening inside your head. Did you know your brain right now might be stuck in a stress loop that's making you tired, unfocused, and even aging you faster? Now, I'm not trying to freak you out, but there's a good chance your breathing patterns are actually working against you right now. Let's take a peek inside your brain just for a second. When you're breathing in that shallow, chest-focused way, you know, those quick, uneven breaths we all slip into during the day, something fascinating happens. Your brain triggers the fight or flight response. It's like your body's alarm system, and it's going off dozens of times throughout your day. And that's without you even knowing it. This type of breathing activates two key players in your brain. First, there's the amygdala. We already talked about it. It's your brain's panic button. When you breathe from your chest in those quick, shallow patterns, that button gets pressed over and over and over again. Then there's the default mode network, or the DMN for short. Think of it as your brain's autopilot that's malfunctioning, sending you into spirals of worry instead of keeping you calm and centered. When your DMN is activated, your mind becomes like a time-traveling machine. One moment you're replaying that embarrassing thing that happened 3 years ago, and then suddenly, wham, you're worried about the meeting that's coming up next week. Past regrets, future anxieties, they're all running randomly throughout your mind, all because of how you're breathing. Imagine that you're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. Your fingers tighten around the steering wheel. Your jaw clenches. And without you even noticing, your breathing becomes rapid and shallow. Your brain interprets this as danger, releasing cortisol into your bloodstream. As a result, by the time you arrive at work, you're already exhausted and it's only 9 a.m. The same pattern repeats when you're rushing to meet a deadline or during a tense conversation with a family member or colleague. These elevated cortisol levels don't just affect your mood, they wreak havoc on your sleep. You might lie in bed exhausted, but you find your mind is still racing or waking up throughout the night. One client told me she'd spent years believing she was just a bad sleeper until she realized her daytime breathing patterns were keeping her stress system activated around the clock. But here's the good news. There's a switch that can interrupt this cycle almost instantly. A specific breathing pattern that can signal safety to your brain, turning down the volume on that alarm system and helping you step out of that worry cycle. What's remarkable is how quickly this works. Proper breathing techniques have been shown to dramatically improve sleep quality in less than a week by reducing DMN activity and lowering those cortisol levels that keep you wired and tired. Imagine falling asleep within minutes instead of hours, staying asleep throughout the night, and waking up feeling genuinely refreshed. This isn't fantasy, it's what happens when you get your breathing right. And the benefits compound night after night, creating a positive cycle instead of a stress loop. This positive cycle doesn't just improve your sleep, it actually transforms your brain's physical architecture from the inside out. While anti-anxiety medications temporarily alter your brain chemistry, proper breathing techniques literally remodel your brain structure. These transformations are significant enough to appear on brain scans. The brain's task positive network, TPN, functions as your present moment system. When you engage in intentional breathing, you switch from the rumination network to the focused attention network. This shift directly improves your daily focus and your emotional regulation, allowing you to handle stressful situations more effectively. It's like changing the channel from a horror movie marathon to a peaceful nature documentary. And here is what makes this fascinating. While approximately 40 million American adults take anti-anxiety medications, consistent breathing practices create changes medications simply can't achieve. Medications work temporarily on brain chemistry, while breathing practices physically reshape your brain, similarly to renovating a house by strengthening its foundation rather than applying a fresh coat of paint. Brain scans reveal that people who practice intentional breathing regularly develop more gray matter in crucial areas like the prefrontal cortex, your brain's command center, and the hippocampus, which regulates emotions and forms memories. This is backed by groundbreaking research from Dr. Sarah Lazar, a respected neuroscientist at Harvard Medical School. Her studies revealed something extraordinary. People between 40 and 50 years old who maintained a consistent mindfulness practice had the same amount of gray matter in their cortex as people in their 20s and 30s. Their brains were measurably younger. Lazar explained it this way. Initially, I was skeptical about meditation's emotional benefits, but my personal experience of feeling calmer and happier prompted me to investigate further. Proper breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. This counteracts the fight or flight response. When you breathe correctly, your vagus nerve gets stimulated, sending calming signals throughout your body, releasing muscle tension and slowing your heart rate. In Lazar's experiment, participants underwent just 8 weeks of mindfulness-based stress reduction training. Their MRI scans showed measurable increases in brain volume in the hippocampus and the temporoparietal junction, which relates to empathy and compassion. Additionally, the amygdala, that stress center we keep talking about, actually shrunk. The increase in gray matter volume directly correlated with reduced stress levels. You don't need to become a monk to see these benefits either. These brain changes begin within just minutes of practice every day. 5 minutes of intentional breathing done consistently can start this remarkable transformation. This is why many experts now consider breath control potentially more powerful than medication for long-term mental wellness. Proper breathing creates lasting structural changes in your brain, healing issues from within rather than temporarily masking symptoms. If breathing can literally rewire your brain, then having the right technique changes everything. What if I told you there's a breathing pattern so powerful that elite military units, Olympic athletes, and Fortune 500 executives all use it before their most high-pressure moments? This isn't some complicated ritual requiring special equipment or hours of practice. It's a simple numerical pattern you can learn in the next 60 seconds, and it works almost instantly. This game-changing technique is called the 4-7-8 breathing. It was pioneered by Dr. Andrew Weil, who combined ancient yogic practices with modern neuroscience. Now, Dr. Weil described it as a natural tranquilizer for the nervous system, and the beauty is it works through pure physiology, not psychology. You don't need to clear your mind or find 30 minutes of silence like traditional meditation demands. This is revolutionary for those who think meditation never works for me because my thoughts race too much. 4-7-8 breathing bypasses all that. Your mind can still be racing while the technique works directly on your nervous system. To practice this technique, start by finding a comfortable position, whether sitting or standing. Place the tip of your tongue against the ridge behind your upper front teeth and then keep it there throughout the exercise. Close your mouth and inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Then hold your breath for a count of 7. Finally, exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound for a count of 8. That completes one cycle. Make sure to repeat this for 3 more complete breaths. While practicing, be mindful of common mistakes. Avoid breathing too shallowly. Instead, focus on breathing from your diaphragm, allowing your belly to expand. Don't rush the counts. Remember that each complete cycle should take about 19 seconds. Lastly, consistency is key. This technique is based on science and requires regular repetition to become effective. The power lies in the extended exhale. When you exhale is longer than your inhale, it signals safety to your brain, activating your vagus nerve and switching you from that fight or flight mode to the rest and digest mode. As Dr. Will explains, this ratio is more important than how long you count. If you have trouble holding your breath, speed the count up, but keep the ratio. Now, one executive I coached used this before a critical board presentation that had kept her awake for days. She reported just after 4 cycles, her racing heartbeat calmed and her mind cleared enough to deliver confidently. Make this part of your routine. 4 rounds twice daily, morning and bedtime. While immediate effects are noticeable, transformation happens after about 3 weeks of consistent, regular practice. Before stressful events like presentations or difficult conversations, do a quick round to center yourself. You can even modify it for any situation with the stealth mode version. This is where you maintain the same ratio, but you breathe normally without the audible exhale when in meetings or conversations. Dr. Will advises starting with just 4 breaths at one time for the first month, gradually increasing to 8 if desired. Now, this portable technique works anywhere. You can use it for fighting insomnia, during interviews, during arguments, or when anxiety strikes inexplicably. Your brain is a breathing masterpiece, reshaping itself with every inhale and exhale. Think about it. 20,000 breaths each day. That's 20,000 opportunities to either strengthen stress pathways or build resilience and calm. Here's your challenge. Try the 4-7-8 technique tonight before bed and again tomorrow morning. One day will show you noticeable differences in how you feel. Imagine what a month could do for your brain's architecture. This technique reprograms your nervous system breath by breath. The power to transform your mental landscape is literally under your nose. One last thing, just hit subscribe for more brain-boosting hacks that take minutes but change everything. It's an easy and free way to support us. Until the next time, this is Will Deek wishing you only success.